following program is brought to you in living color.
X marks the spot.
That's right. X marks the spot. I'm Alex Sharp, and you are viewing the Alex Sharp Experiment. I welcome you. This is the very first cast. I've been procrastinating because that's what we do, us Gen Xers. But I'll get to it sooner or later, so here we are. And here you are. Now I'm going to run down really quick what this whole thing's going to be about, who I am, this, that, and the other thing. And then on all the other shows, we can just get on to business. And then anybody can come back here to the first one in order to get a little backstory. Okay? So I'm a certain amount of age. I'm not going to tell you exactly right now how old I am. Going to keep that a secret right this second. I am a Gen Xer. Okay, so I've got to be a certain age. You can try to figure it out, but it really doesn't matter. I could tell you, okay, I'm 60. But the thing about it is I got a lot to say. I've been around for quite a while. I'm definitely not the smartest man in the world. I would not want to try to be president because that whole job is like BS. Who would want to do that? You think you could be president? You think you got the big bright ideas to go on in there and you got the balls to go in and be a good president? I doubt. All these people that rag and whine and cry, they couldn't be president. They may hate Trump, but they couldn't be president. I guarantee you. Look, it's ridiculous. Okay, between that and the green hairs, okay, the multicolors, and kids getting right out of college thinking that they are smarter than anybody else. But didn't you think you were smart at 20 years old? Ask any generation. All the way back a few centuries. They've all had the same damn thoughts in their head. Number one, they thought that their parents and their generation left them with a whole bunch of shit. Because I remember saying stuff about my parents. Hey, thanks a lot for leaving us with, this, that, and the other thing. A whole bunch of shit. But you know something? I didn't have the internet to go on a platform or 10 platforms and just keep whining like a donkey about how bad my life is. And of course, everybody now has everything from OBCD, ADD to freaking all sorts of mental, and then I've got OPCD, and I've got, come on, seriously. And you want to talk about taking drugs, you want to talk about pot and fentanyl and every other, and heroin and meth coming into our country? How about going right to the pharmaceuticals? How about going to the pharmaceuticals that have drugs that have fucking side effects lists that are 20 pages long? You don't know what the hell you're taking. You do not really know what you're taking. We're guinea pigs. Look, we've all got problems, right? It's just I couldn't air all of my problems on a social media to the frickin' world. And I think there's a lot of amoebas out there that need to double check their idiocy switch. Because I'll tell you, and everybody thought my generation was effed up. Long hair, jeans, belly shirts, all sorts of whacked out things. But we were nothing. Not even the millennials, really. They were kind of, and then it just got worse. Then the pandemic. We had 2 years of kids being able to be in on TikTok forever. And all the other platforms. And what happens when we come out? We're woke. Bing! That's where it all started. That's a whole nother story. You see, I get going and going. So the thing is I may do some of the same stories, that other people are doing. But the thing about it is I'm Alex Sharp, and they're not. So you never know. I could give you a little new perspective on things. You might think for a second, hey, I don't know, this guy's just freaked up enough or something. You can't get into these people's minds because all they want to do is bitch. But you got the kids, they ain't working. Everybody thinks that I've got a social media platform, and if they're on there and they've got lots of subscribers and everything, sure, YouTube pays them. That's their fucking job. But if you think that makes you a worldwide sensation and some person that's like figured out everything in the world because listen to me on my channel, I think it's horrendous. And there's so much material out there. I could do 10 shows a day every single day and not even scrape the surface of the retardedness that's going on today. And I'll use a lot of triggering words, everybody, just to let you know. Because I'm all about common sense. I'm all about having a thicker skin. I mean, everybody's got such thin skin. You say just one little thing and they're popping like a balloon and floating up into the clouds. Oh, you've hurt me. Disrespected. I will tell you one thing, disrespect. That's bullshit. This whole line, oh, you disrespected me. Well, let me tell you one thing. You cannot disrespect anything that you haven't respected to begin with. It just doesn't work that way. After you've earned somebody's respect, then they can disrespect you. If they don't even effing know you, that just means that you're the big baby that needs a good sucker in his mouth. Maybe a pacifier. You need a little die. So when you got to do a little caca poo poo, huh? You have a fucking depends on. I mean, you know, what else can I say? All right. So that's basically what's going on. The experiment's gonna kind of change as we go along. That means you're doing good if you got all of your... Yeah, damn right. Maybe someday I'll have 26 subscribers. Hey, it's a crapshoot. And I'm coming into this whole thing with a little disadvantage. Even though I've been doing this kind of thing since 1996, if you can believe it, that'll be another story for another time. Right? But what I'm saying is we're going to have something to talk about each and every cast. And we'll talk about it. And I'll tell you what about it in Gen X terms. I hope my cursing isn't too much for you. God forbid that you say anything like that anymore. And you know something? I could care less if YouTube ever pays me a dime. I could care less if I had that silver or gold YouTube plaque behind me. Sure it'd be cool. But am I not going to say shit, fuck, piss, dick, son, bitch, just to appease their... And if it's the rules of conduct or something, you know, and they want to just say, hey, sorry, dude, you're just going too far. Even though I've said this show isn't for kids, it's just adult. So if they would ever do something like that, I would have to say, you know, you guys are freaking screwballs. I'm not a Republican. I'm a common sense. Always have been. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. You know, until this last election, I had never in my whole life really paid attention to politics or ever voted until this last election, because I started watching a little bit of it and I started getting really serious and I started getting really panicked. There was no way that Camel Toe and her freaking whacked out sidekick, Mr. Wells, were going to become the next president and vice president if I had anything to do with it. So I went out and voted. And you know something? I think that is one reason why he did so good, because I think there were a lot of people like me. You get pushed so far, and when your choices run out, what are you going to do? So probably when I start talking about this, you'll see my aggravation level rise. because it's just ridiculous. Now you can get more information than you could possibly ever have time in your life to check out and experience and watch. And that's not even counting all the old vintage shows and stuff that you want to watch. I want to watch all of Green Acres because it looks 1,000 times better than it ever did on our Zenith with the snowy picture and the rabbit ears. You know what I'm saying? So you almost want to watch that stuff just because it's like it's never looked better or sounded better. And plus it takes you back a little bit. But here's the thing. Going to be talking about everything from like maybe, I don't know, pro wrestling to First Amendment auditors to the political shit and shenanigans to musical stuff. I mean, it could be anything. If you've got an idea, something maybe that you want to chit chat about, and you want to hear my side of what's going on about it, leave that down in the comments too. You know, I wasn't going to say that very much. But you know something? Everybody else does. So it's not like you're not used to hearing somebody give you the little spiel. But I'm not going to go into that 5-minute rendition of, well, you know, I've been working really closely with a zee-de-da-da-blobby-dee-blobby blue. And then, you know, you got to find the little white dot in the timeline there and go just past it so you cannot hear that rubbish. So I ran across this little clip and I thought I would remind everybody what was going on with our infamous Joe Biden and Cameltoe. I mean, there's fact after fact after poll after poll after everything. The proof has been in the pudding. It's all on video. Everybody knows what he did. And I want to be in a country that has a closed, safe border. Sure. We have always had immigrants here. It's this country is kind of made on immigrants, but it's not made on 2 or 3 years full of just opening wide the whole damn strip and just letting them come in. That's never happened before. Like, that's not how that was happening. Sure, maybe a couple boatloads of people came over, but you know, they came over and worked. They came over with a proudness in their hearts about being in America. These other people come over because they were pretty much invited and shown the way to the door. There it is, open wide for you. What would you do if you were them? I'm going. Because, of course, America is the best country in the world. There's no doubt about it, even though you got a lot of lefty, lunatic, wacko, retard, window lickers that would like to tell you otherwise. And this whole voter ID thing, oh my God, see, I could just go on and on and on. Got so much on my mind and it just grumbles around there so much every day. Sometimes I get off the beaten path. Sometimes I forget. Just so y'all remember, this is what we're calling our, this is what we were calling our country. This is what we were calling our country. If you remember. And this is a very moderate video. This is very moderate. Can you believe that happening right outside of your country's border? All I want is safety. All Democrats wanted was a vote. It's so ridiculous, so stupid. And if you ask anybody about anything about it that's a Democrat or a left loony bin, they all have the same talking points and they'll say the same shit. They will never answer the question because they don't know what the answer is. The only thing they know is we want to stay in power. We want to keep getting those government kickbacks. We want to get those government programs and all the money that comes with it so that we can keep funneling it, using very little to nothing for the actual reason why we're getting the money. But we'll make sure that we become fucking rich. I don't even know how they all get away with it. I really, really, really don't. But it happens. So what are you going to do? So there's just a little tiny bit of something there, you know. Remember, that was happening not too long ago. And you can say what you want about Donald Trump. Okay? I'm not even sure that I absolutely like the guy. And like I said before, I'm not a Republican or nothing. I'm a common sense. I mean, all I want is everybody to act normal. This bullshit about, you know, I'm a boy. Here's a 5-year-old kid. You know, when I was a kid, my mom tells me, I wore dresses. I liked wearing little dresses, and mom had some wigs, and I'd put them on. The only thing that was different is she didn't sit me down and say, honey, do you feel like you're a female? Do you feel like you're a little girl? And maybe what would the kids say? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, okay, well, we're going to have to take you to the doctor and we'll ask him. And then all of a sudden you're on some fucking hormone. That's crazy, everybody. Crazy. So, well, anyway, I am going to get out of here, okay? I got plenty to do, which is not really true. It is, and I don't have nothing to do except I'm going to try to edit this up and see if I can actually put it up. Can I get one video up? I really enjoyed having you watch wherever you may be from, whatever time zone, whatever it is, night, day, rainy, summer, spring, fall, winter. If you're watching this right now, I really appreciate it, especially at this point. And because you made it to this point, I'm going to give you a little something special. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da. I love my new watchers there, and you are great, and you don't care just how weird I can be. Because you're on there, and you can see that Alex Sharp, he's the man that's gonna do all he can to give it to you straight, and out of the gate, he'll never slam. What was I singing about? All right, anyway, guys, pleasure to meet you. And I can't wait to see you again. So stick around. Keep watch. And look, as far as I'm concerned,
X has marked this spot.
that's right. So, you just remember, this Gen X is going to say it like it is. People aren't going to like it. A lot of people are going to like it. A lot of people aren't. And I don't care. Just remember that. But I do love everybody. It's not like I don't care about people. The weirdos who want to challenge me, who want to get violent with you all the time, who want to say things that they can't back up. Sure. What are you going to do about those people? You're going to bring them home to a freaking family dinner? Yeah, bring them to the Thanksgiving dinner. Bring them and meet Grandma. I mean, evening. So you guys have a great morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you might be. I will see you next time. Take care.